I feel like our parents' job is to give us the tools and let us understand, and we go out and do it. And if we fail, we fail, bro. I
Yeah.
think what it is, but I think we don't talk about the failing. You know what I
No, we
mean?
don't.
We don't talk about how it's okay to be like, bro, if you fail, it's okay. Come on, jump back on it. We don't talk about that, bro. I think that's one of the things that we didn't really catch. You know what I mean? That it was okay to fall and come back up. That makes sense.
Yeah, because like I said before, like we as Polynesians, we're very prideful. We have this mentality that we have to be strong all the time. So nobody wants to talk about you see that a lot. Our parents try to raise us as perfect. They want us to be this perfect son, this perfect daughter, um, and then sometimes maybe it'd be more. There's more pressure on the girls to be more perfect, but we never they never talk about uh, mistakes. They never talk about failure. They always, hey, but do it. Just every time they encourage us kids, just do the right thing, live the right path, be a perfect son, be a perfect daughter to society. But they never have discussions of, and if we do fail, they don't they don't sit down and we discuss the failure. We just get disciplined, right? We don't, what I'm saying? So we
Yeah.
just get this. There's no conversation, and then we never learn.
Right.
All
And it just
all
it makes us more scared to fail because we're gonna get
yeah.
disciplined. Like, out. No.
Yeah, it's either we get more, either it builds more fear within us to fail, and then that builds a lack of self-esteem to actually try new things, or right, or
Yeah.
or or it builds resentment because sometimes when our parents hit us, we makes us more rebellious because we feel like that our parents don't care. There's no affection, and right. So I've seen both ways.
He's-
I've seen both ways where the discipline leads the kid to building, to push their relationship apart from their parents because the only time every single time they fail is they get disciplined, like, and then sometimes and what parents don't realize, like, failure is part of life, man. We all gonna fail. We're all gonna make mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So that's the only way we can grow. And sometimes as a kid, that when we fail, all we need is some love and support for us to bounce back.
I understand. I see what you mean.
But
You
there's
know,
sometimes, yeah, but
yeah.
sometimes, yeah, because sometimes failure can take us in a deeper hole, put
Yeah.
us in a very deep hole, and by physically discipline the kid can push them to the edge. And that's why we see a lot of poly suffer mental health, depression, suicide, anxiety, because sometimes they just need that love and support from their parents, but they don't get it. And then especially when they fail and then they get disciplined, it just makes it worse for them. So that's something I see a lot.
Right. And I hear stories about that. You know what I mean? And it's sad, bro. It's sad to hear stories like that. But I feel like now that we're starting to hear these stories, we're starting to see these things. Our parents and people that's a little older than us are starting to be aware. Like, oh shoot, maybe I shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? Maybe I shouldn't slap the hell out of him. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little
Yeah.
different. But, like, you know what I
How
mean? Like,
how how
huh?
was your experience with your parents, especially when it came to failure, especially when you when you failed in your life and when you
I
did
Yeah.
certain things in your life that you shouldn't be doing? Like how was that experience with you and your relation with your parents? How did they deal? How did you guys deal with it?
Uh, so like I said, I was able to get both worlds, man. Like, so
Yeah.
when I'll be more fearful for my pops than I
Hmm.
is for my moms. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
My pops is old school. Like, my pop sees a bad grade, thigh. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know? My mom sees a bad grade, she be like, oh, what happened? I'm like, man, I don't know. And then she was like, do better. Like, if you need tutoring, get tutoring. You need to, like, she was always trying to make, you know what I mean? So I had both worlds.
So let me ask you a question. Which method, either from your pops or your moms, encouraged you to do better? That you wanted to do better?
I think it was a little bit 50-50, right? Because it was at a point where you want to do better and not get fired again. And also you
So,
want to, right? And you want to do better because your moms are showing you support. So you know what? Let me do better too.
but do better. But let me ask you, which one did you? Which way was that you wanted to do better in because you want to do better in a healthy way? Because I feel like when you want to do better because you didn't want to get disciplined, that doesn't take you far in life.
No, no, I know what you mean. So like, it kind of my mom's had a little system is that like if she would give me a certain amount of chances to do better, and if I didn't do better, then she'll throw it at my pops. And so it was kind of a thing where both system works. You know what I mean? Because my mom's gave me that more that support, like, oh, let's do this. I would still act around, bruh. No discipline. You know what I mean? I'm a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way that she would get her authority put on me, she'd be like, "All right, I'm gonna throw this at your pops." And then that's when we're like, all right, I'm gonna do it better. I'm gonna do, you know what I mean? So I feel like it worked both ways. If I didn't get that support and knowledge from my mom to let her know, like, all right, I get it. I know what I do better. It was up to me to be like, get that extra push. Be like, all right, I know what to do. I'm gonna just chill. But my
Mm-hmm.
mom knew me better. She was like, all right, because you already comfortable, I'm gonna get your pops to push you more. And so, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So it go both ways for me.
Okay.
So yeah,
So what?
what's up?
So what? So yeah. So did you ever have this? Did you ever have discussions regarding of your failure, or what, or was it just you only had the discussion with your mom? Did you ever discuss it with your dad, especially when he failed? Or was it just straight discipline?
Uh, it wasn't always straight discipline from my pops. It was to the point of like if it was a stupid mistake, straight discipline,
Yeah.
like you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
okay, I get that. That's but if it was something that I could learn from it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He'll try to make me understand, and then they hit me like all right. Oh no, it'd be like no, sorry, it'll be hit me. He'll hit me first, and then he'll describe like he'll explain. Yeah, so that's what it was. It's like he'll so if it was a stupid mistake, he'll just die in me. I'm like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
do better. But if it was a mistake that I can learn from, he'll hit me, and then afterwards he'll take me to go eat, and then he'll explain to me like, you know what, this is why I hit you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
teach me in those kind of moments. And so that's what it was with him. Is that that's why I'm a little healthy. You know what I mean? Because I was getting so yeah, that's what it was. But I was just grateful and blessed to have both teachings. You know what I mean? Both sides of the worlds coming onto like I said, bro. My mom's came out here and she adjusted. She came out here at 17
Mm-hmm.
and she adjusted. She was like, all right, I had to flip it on him. So I was blessed to get both ways.
Yeah, but is that something you see a lot with your friend? A lot of your friends and family is they don't really talk about failure. They don't really talk about uh,
Yeah.
failure and making
No,
mistakes.
yeah, I mean it is something that when we were growing up, now we didn't talk about it. But I feel like now when I do see people younger than me or my same age, we talk about it like, hey man, like remember when we did this? And we was just like, man, it was like we will talk about our failures, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And build each other up within each other, amongst each other, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I know it's kind of tough, bro, that we some people out there, some of my friends and family didn't have um, had different upbringings on their own side. But I feel like as us now, when we get together, bro, we talk about that, and then we understand like what you're doing right now. You feel me? You're trying to
Mm-hmm.
give awareness to those to be like, you know what? Because of these upbringings, it kind of messed up this kind of way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think I think it's up to us, bro, to break that whole cycle. What you know what I mean? Like we need to break that cycle. Like now that we're here, now that we aware, and now that we see it, like let's do something to be different about it.
Oh, no, that is true. Yeah, I think it's up to us to break the cycles because we're the ones that are willing to talk about it. You know, usually the older generations they're already set in how they do things. You know, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. You know what I'm saying? So
True. That
so
is true.
we're still in an age where we're still trying to figure out life and we're still able to transform and try new things and I feel like when it comes to like talking about failure, uh, I see that the one area in our life that really gets compounded that really impacts us is church because as Polynesians, you know, church is a foundation of who we are. You know, God is a foundation of who we are in our life, who we become in our character because we grow up within the church, within the faith. But sometimes the pressure can be so great that I see a lot of Tongans, I see a lot of people, you know, because of the judgment, of the criticism, because of the pressure to be spiritually perfect. And when they fail, or when they fail to meet up those expectations, and the criticism they get from church, from other people, that can definitely put them in a dark place, where they start giving up on their faith, where they start feel like they're not worthy enough to come to church. They just feel like that, everybody's, they feel like they feel the labels. Everybody's labeling them. Oh, that person is an alcoholic. That guy is a smoker. Don't how Tongans are. they'll put labels on people that living an opposite lifestyle. That especially those that may not live that gospel life. If you know what I'm saying. And they kind of like ostracize or out, or put them on the side, on their own category, and make them feel left out. But I feel like, and that's something I always have to tell my cousins, especially my family, that that we all make mistakes in life. Just because you smoke, just because you drink, just because you do certain things, does not make you less worthy of God's love. I always tell them, man, like God always is gonna welcome you back. Just come to church. Just come to church. Not because for what people, not because you want to please people or what people are gonna say. Just come for your own salvation, bro. And that's the thing how I live my life. I'm not a perfect person. I know I do make mistakes. I do certain things that I need to improve on in my life. But I'm a man. At the end of the day, I'm a human.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand that my own salvation is, God loves me no matter what, and I always gonna make time and make effort to go back and to for my own salvation. And but before, when I was younger, I used to feel that pressure where if I did certain things, if I did smoke, if I did drink, then I just felt like, man, I felt unclean. I felt like that wasn't worthy, and I felt like that people, I'm less than, I'm less deserving than everybody else. My value, my worth is not as high than everybody else that's
Ew, bro,
perfect.
you used to think like that?
Yeah, man. Yes, I used to think
Nah,
like that, man.
bro, you crazy. You know
You
that,
know, I
right?
know, I know. I grew up with
Easy. That
the
you
way
would.
I grew up with my grandma in Tongan, so she was like hardcore.
Oh,
So
bro.
she was
Man,
hardcore when it came to religion. When it came to religion, like we would wake up 4 o'clock in the morning and pray. I remember she used to like tell us, "Hey, man, if you do this, you go to hell. If you do this,
shoot.
what I'm saying." Yes, like she was hardcore. So I grew up thinking that way. Okay, if I make one mistake, then I'm gonna go to hell. Then my life is ruined. But then you learn in life that mistakes is part of life.
Right, right.
Is
But yeah, to get that building to you as a young kid, to have that, you know what I mean?
maybe I
It's
mean
I know
you don't
what you.
see that. Do you see that? I mean, you're Mormon, right? So
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. I mean, there's a lot of Mormons, man. A lot of Mormons struggling, man. A lot of struggling with that.
you know what? You're right. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, especially, I mean, I just moved. I moved back from Utah. I lived in Utah for 2 years.
Yeah,
Shout out to Utah. I loved it in Utah. Utah was beautiful. I learned a lot. And you're right, bro. You would see out there that everybody would try to live a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it was, bro. I just felt like just be you. You know what I mean? Like, but then I felt like everybody was trying to like everybody was just like, you know what, I can't show weakness or I can't show my sins or somebody would think less of me. Woo woo.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,